Okay, this is video number 3, and we're going to form some of the paper cases. All right. So what you're going to need is you're going to need your one set of blocks here, and what these are is these are just the tapered blocks. There's no spring. This isn't a crimp. This is used for forming the cases. Mandrel, which I like the mandrel, the size of it, I can manipulate it, it helps. You're going to need your spacer block and the whole apparatus here. First thing we're going to do is we're going to wax the mandrel, and we're using this Minwax paste wax. I can put it on with my finger. What he sends in the jar, he sends you some, it's kind of hardened and dried out, I can't get it. So I got a Q-tip, I'm going to rub some on there, and then basically apply the wax to the inside here of this. Help keep things from not sticking. You can also put some on this rod, and I think he's changed this because there's this flat spot on here, so when you shove this over it locks the block right in there. But okay, let me wax up everything. Everything is waxed. And put the block in with the lettering up. Place the block in your shim, and you want this removable wedge part to go towards the handle. And get your handle adjusted right. See, yeah. You want the handle in about that position. Everything slides in there, and then slide this over. Let's see. And lock everything in place. Okay, and then we will, like he says, go about that. Tell me if it does that. It lifts up like that to reverse it. Yeah, see, this has a flat spot on there. I've seen some of the videos, they were rotating it. And as far as it goes with me, I just put it in there, give it a little twist, locks it in. Okay, make sure we got some play in there. And basically what you're looking for is when you put that in there to just kind of go down and form. That's about where you want to go. So you leave this somewhat loose in there. Alright, this is ready. I'm going to put away all this stuff, and then we'll try to roll some cartridges. Okay, we're going to give it a shot at making a case. Put a little glue stick on the paper. Now I tried using glue and a little tiny paintbrush to do this with some other type of cartridge thing, and I guess the glue stick's the way to go. It's kind of like whatever you get. We line this up, and now there is a learning curve to this. Try to do this on the camera. Rolling this and getting it tight, kind of lining it up. It takes a bit of practice. And all of this for me is difficult as hell. I have to get off camera here. But that's what you want. Fairly tight and on the mandrel. This mandrel, it's easier for me to handle it. And then he tells you what we'll do is take this and I rotate it here on the glue stick. Out here and do it. And get a little glue on the edge for the base. And like I said, with this thing here, much more easier for me to manipulate. And he suggests starting this, or we put it in the block, take one of our little round bases, kind of line it up on a sponge, get it somewhat started, and with the block loose, get it over. Now we have our apparatus. We have the block loose, the trigger, and then we push it down all the way to the bottom, then crank that over this way. And he said not with too much pressure, but just to crimp it. Maybe I'll go do it again. And there you have your case formed. Okay, and with the wax and that on there, it should just pop off. Now that's forming the case. The reason I kind of like this, it's pretty good, and you have the action of crimping the case together instead of shoving it down into a block like this. You know, it does the same thing, but I don't know. And this type of a mandrel, which is on most of the others, for me, to manipulate it and handle it, this is a hell of a lot better. This, I got more control and I can do a better job and I do it faster. Okay. But now the only thing is, now when we go on to the next step, is I have to get my powder charge in there and see if I can, if this is correct. Because it doesn't matter whose system you use or whatever, everyone uses a different load. And a lot of the template, it's designed for the certain bullet, which all it is the Johnson & Dowell with the heel. And what you got to do is make sure that your powder charge fills this cup up to a point where you can slip the bullet and the heel in there and then crimp it. This is where you're going to run into problems no matter whose system you use, because he had to go, I'll cover it in the next video, he made me a different set of blocks that were not as tall because I was using a slightly reduced powder charge, and he come up with a way to adjust it. I talked about that in the main video. But we're going to see what I end up with what he has in the next one. We try to go and basically form the bullet. But this is how you make the little cups. Make a bunch of them, and you know, this is a real nice apparatus. It does a real nice job, and they come out good. We just got to make sure that something doesn't need to be adjusted in the next step, and that's going to be with any one of these systems that you use, okay? Because the guns are different, the powder charges are different, and that determines, just like anything else, the length of this paper tube. All right, so that's the end of this video. As you can see, this process is simplified. I'm doing this very easily. Okay, I will review this other system here once I get this stuff done today and I make some rounds. All right, on to video 4.